Welcome to another edition of Closet Factory's Operation Reorganization.
This episode is shiny and new, as both of our clients have decided to go all out with their newly built homes to include closets and even a home office.
That's right. First, we'll visit a gorgeous home that is literally still under construction to see how Jacinta worked with and around other vendors to get an amazing walk-in closet completed for her client before move-in day.
Then we'll see how Tamra delivered a new primary closet as well as a child's bedroom closet and home office to cap off her client's brand new build in a brand new neighborhood in Virginia Beach.
All that and more on this episode of Closet Factory's Operation Reorganization.
Hello, I'm Jacinta with Closet Factory, and we are here at a home that has just been newly constructed in Virginia Beach. You can probably still hear some of the noise in the background, but we've made our way through and had to kind of work alongside and get through, the final painters and landscapers and other cabinet people working throughout the house. So it's been a fabulous job. Nick was on this job and he did a marvelous job. I mean, I could not be happier with the way that it's turned out. The clients came to us actually from a designer. Her name is Ashley from Coast Couture LLC in Virginia Beach. And Ashley and myself collaborated with the clients to come up with this design. She was a real pleasure to work with, and it was great putting all of our minds together because they had the full concept. I hadn't seen the whole house because it was still in the studs when we started working together almost a year ago. But they knew the final design and all the other colors for the house and styles that they had chosen. So it was great being able to collaborate and work alongside their interior designer to get the job done. They spared no expense in this space. I believe this is going to be their forever home, and they wanted it to just be everything that they could ever dream of. Now, when it comes to new construction, that is really challenging when it comes to doing our install. We had to make sure that the room was to a certain, status, that floors were in, that, all the trim was in, the painting was pretty much done. We even had to give them the location for all the wiring, for the outlets that we would need for the lighting, AC vents and things of that nature, just to make sure everything cleared where the cabinets, were gonna go. Once Nick got in here, there were still some other contractors, but he was able to at least get through. I remember, I think the week before he was getting ready to start, they were just pouring the driveway. So I was like, whoa, but it dried really quick. I was surprised because I came out one day just to kind of check on the space, and there was nothing but dirt. And then and I saw them, they had everything lined up to pour the concrete, and came back, I think a weekend later, and everything was dry and ready to go. So I know Nick was happy that he didn't have to walk through a bunch of dirt to bring and load everything in. But our installers are great. Nick worked through it, and I was even a little concerned when I saw that he was going to be the only installer on this job. I even tried to go to bat, for him. I went to our operations manager, the other Nick, and reminded him. I said, "You do realize these are like extra tall ceilings, and he's going to have a really tall ladder, and we have to build 2 levels." Because our material only comes, but so high. I think our tallest panel is just shy of 9 feet. I think these are 10-foot ceilings. The way it's designed, I designed up to a certain point and then created like an accent top and then we just built other cabinets on top of it. The clients really wanted what I'd call a wardrobe look. They wanted their clothes to really be completely inside the cabinet. So this was a lot of material. It had backing, but Nick, he must have ate his Wheaties every morning because he got he got the stuff in here somehow on his own, and he even, built everything, and I'm sure was up on a tall ladder and had to build on top and got all the materials, got the crown up there, got the doors up there. So kudos to Nick. I think he did a fabulous job. So we have used every inch of this space. And even though the room has windows, we even utilize the space under the windows with both sides having bench seats. And we've got a peninsula in the middle, so it kind of separates and creates kind of his area and her area. Even though one wall is kind of a shared wall, but the majority of it, of course, belongs to the wife. So I came up with different design options, and then we met in the showroom and were able to finalize the layout. And we looked into every detail. I asked them, because this closet is super custom. A lot of our spaces that you may have seen in some of our other shows, we usually put system holes, in our panel all the way up and down so that there's full adjustability. These clients, however, aesthetics was a lot more important to them than being able to adjust things. Especially since we have the lighted rods, really once those are all wired in, they are where they are. So we had to be very specific. They measured their clothing, and the interior designer and I, made sure that we adjusted the rods to just the right heights and had just the right spacing to accommodate, their clothes. And then once we got the layout, all down, then we were able to focus on the aesthetics. They've got stained wood as well as our high pressure laminate. The homeowners kind of went back and forth with colors initially because they were kind of trying to decide between, the coastal lighter beach colors, but the husband was really into wood, into the stained wood color. So that's how we ended up with this beautiful. There had to be a little give and take. I think they have some lighter colors in other areas of the house, but the husband kind of won over when it came to the closet here. And it's really a full-on dressing room. They've got drawers, they've got hampers, everything they need to dress in this space. They've got shoe storage, they've got dresser storage, they've got enough space to hang, all of their clothes from all the different seasons. Because of the high ceilings, we actually incorporated what we call wardrobe lifts. And that's something that we very rarely use. In the 10 years that I've been with Closet Factory, I think I've only used it one other time before. They're great, but they only come into play when you have really tall ceilings like we have here, and you're able to hang, things really up high. It allows the wardrobe lifts allow you to hang things really up high, and then these are actually motorized. And you can just push a button and bring the clothes down to your height. They've even got lighting so that it's aesthetically pleasing, so that they can store beautiful things behind the glass doors. The client, I believe, has some wonderful bags that she's going to want to display once they move in. They also wanted extra lighting just for task lighting. So we've got some rods that have lighting, and that really helps, especially when you're using the darker wood. That way you have the light that's shining directly on your clothes. And with the lighting, most of the closet is all wired to just one switch so that they can easily turn it on when they first come into the closet. But we have one special area that is actually the vanity. We even incorporated outlets so that she can plug in curling irons or blow dryers, right there at the vanity station. So I'm sure that will come into handy when it comes time for getting ready in the mornings. We've even got special drawers for jewelry, in this closet. We've got 2 styles of hampers. They even upgraded their drawers, wood dovetail drawers that a lot of people love. We've got also your valet rods, as well as tie racks and belt racks, so that all of their accessories can be easily seen and accessed when they're getting ready every day. I think they're going to be ecstatic because it's great to see things come to fruition. You know, we work really hard on the front end with our CAD program and, you know, putting it all in 3D, but even our 3D program doesn't do it justice until you see it in person. I think they're gonna love it and enjoy this space for years to come. It's a beautiful forever home, and I'm sure this is just gonna be frosting on the cake.
Jacinta really had her work cut out for her with all that hustle and bustle of a new home under construction, but she knocked it out of the park with that spacious walk-in that had all the bells and whistles you could ask for. Now let's check in on Tamra and see how she helped her client improve on their new dream home.
My name's Katie Brady. I'm originally from Baltimore, Maryland. My husband's also from Minneapolis, Maryland. We moved to Virginia Beach about 6 years ago. My husband's a naval aviator, so that's what brought us down here. And he recently got out and is in the reserves, and we decided to stay in this area. We have a 3-year-old son. His name is Jackson, and we recently moved to this beautiful community at Asheville Park here in Virginia Beach. We have just one child, and it was really important for us to be in a community, and it's a really great place to live with great amenities and a beautiful neighborhood and a really great location in Virginia Beach. In designing this house, we had a lot of leeway and flexibility and discretion. We picked the floor plan, but had options. So we've, extended some rooms, did some things like that, and we're able to design, exterior, interior selections from top to bottom. So in deciding where to kind of upgrade our living areas, our main priorities were first to have the primary master closet done. We did not know how to, make it livable and functional while keeping, the rest of the house the way it was. Our son's closet, so walk-in closet area, and then finally the most recent build was the main primary office in the downstairs area. I had done some research prior to when we were initially building. I had reached out to various different national brands, and then our builder actually was already using Closet Factory. So they had some standard basic builds that were already included, and we wanted to go kind of a step above what they were offering. So I reached out directly to Closet Factory, and they took over the project and were able to really design kind of our dream installs for all 3 rooms. When I first met Tamra, it was via email, and we were having some standard communication problems with our builder and getting questions answered. But Tamra really jumped in, was able to understand our floor plan from top to bottom. She was, exactly what we were talking about. So I met her, I want to say, after, communicating with her via email, I met with her at the showroom, and she was able to, not only kind of understand what my style was, but kind of got a sense of what our, functionalities were. We have a small child, so really making our lives, understanding our careers and like how we use our spaces. So I met with her, she was fantastic and was able to, design the spaces that really fit our lifestyle.
Hi, it's me, Tamra Lenz. I'm a senior designer with Closet Factory, and I'm here today to talk about the Bradys. I met the Bradys because they were having a new home constructed, and most of my clients these days are either new construction or clients that have previously met me through that process. When Katie and I first met, it was actually via email, and she sent me the blueprints for the closet, and I worked from that. But I knew that working through email and working through Zoom wasn't going to show her the actual product. She wasn't familiar with Closet Factory, so I wanted her to be able to touch and feel and see colors and really see what it looks like. So she came into the showroom. It was really beneficial to her to see the showroom, and I encourage anybody that works with the designer at Closet Factory to come in and see it. And when I talked with her about her closet, I quickly realized that she had the floor plan for just a fantabulous house. But what was really lacking was closet space. She was sharing the space with her husband. It's a very broken up floor plan in the closet, so we had to find a way to make the most out of everything. And what we did in there was to use every inch of wall space, floor to ceiling. It's a very confined space. And when she provided me with her inventory needs for hanging and shoes and purses and drawers, I realized that the best way to divide the space up was to have it split in a his side and a her side. So over here, what you're seeing is banks of drawers, one for him, one for her. You see the shelves over here. There are L shelves here in the corner, but also some additional shelving running up against this wall. We have a window, and I realized I had to work around it, and the best way to maximize the space was this extra shelving right here, which leaves a countertop, somewhere to work from when she's using the closet. Then back over here, we have shoe shelves. Her hanging is along this back wall. And then there is more shelving over here with her long hanging as well, and a valet rod. Over on his side, I went ahead and matched the symmetry of having the hanging against the back for both of them. He has regular shelving here. He has valet rod as well. Then over on this wall, shoe shelves, his long hang for some of those items, and we put the mirror right over here so that they could spin that around against this wall and be able to see themselves when they're in the closet.
My husband and I both travel for work, and my husband every single week, comes out and lays out his clothes and asks, does this look right together? Does this look good here? So I knew a valet rod was really going to be one of those key features that he was just going to be very excited about, but also very functional. And it's probably one of the biggest things he uses. For myself, it was really having the mirror, and I think when I show people my closets and the installs, that's one of their favorite things of the whole house, is that the mirror comes out and it's beautifully tucked away, but it's also a full-size mirror that, we use all the time. In the closet, there are a lot of, sharp turns and kind of unused space. So Tamra was really great at creating and designing this beautiful L-shaped kind of bench that is a high end that we're able to, utilize that weird little corner in our closet, and it's on my side, so I get to utilize it more. And it's a really great place to, have storage tucked away and also be able to lay things out in the closet. So I have my jewelry and things like that out there too. So that was really, really nice.
We also worked on Jackson's closet. That's her 3-year-old son, or their 3-year-old son. And she really liked the fact that I'm able to create adjustable hanging and shelving. So the rod for his clothes is close enough to the floor that he can be helpful in picking out some of his own wardrobe for the day. And of course, as he grows older and gets taller, those rods can be adjusted so that he can use the closet more effectively for his size. It's the benefit of Closet Factory. It changes as your needs change.
In designing the most recent install, I knew it was something, I wanted to do it, but it wasn't a priority. We were doing other things in the house. When you have a new construction and a new house, it's kind of like everything is just a priority. So the office is where I spend, personally, probably 90% of my time, at least during the day. And I had this vision of what I, wanted that space to look like and what I wanted to feel like in that space. So I initially had bought some furniture, and I ultimately, after a month of having it, I hated it. I was blurring my background on my Zoom calls for work, because it just really didn't like the way the space looked. So I had reached out to Tamra, and she had come to my house, and she was, instantly, she's like, what are you thinking? I told her, and she had, started drawing it up kind of in her mind, and she had, brought colors, and I had no intention of doing any type of color. I was just very plain black and white. And she had well, why don't we try this really pretty sage green? And I was like, oh, very nervous about it. But then she ended up putting it all together, went back to her, her office, put it all together, threw in the accents of gold, and really made the whole entire vision come together. And it's probably my favorite part of the house now.
She brought me in and asked me if I could create a wall unit for her that would look nice in her office, and of course I can. And it's so ironic that behind me here, the structure that we have built here in the showroom is the same color that we used for Katie. And here is the design, or at least a preliminary version of the design for Katie's home office. As you can see, this isn't the color that she ultimately did, but it's just the preliminary version so that we could get the spatial needs taken care of. She has some drawers along either side here. In the middle, there's a pull-out shelf at the bottom, so her printer is stored inside the cabinet. She can pull it out when she needs it. There's other storage here on the end. She ended up doing backing along the entire wall, not just these shelves up here. And they are adjustable, so if she finds a few things she wants to display that don't quite fit, she can move the shelves around herself just to get the proper height for that item. Here in the middle, she had expressed a desire to maybe put some artwork, so that's what we left that space open to do. The Brady's were fabulous to work with. I had so much fun. She's got a good vision for what she wants. She just needs someone to help her pull things together, and that's where I come in. It was a joy to work with them. And I understand that she's also told some of her neighbors about Closet Factory, and she has some other projects that she's probably going to be talking to me about for her own home. So, as I said already, Closet Factory is addictive, and I'm looking forward to working with them some more.
Our experience with Closet Factory has been absolutely wonderful. I've recommended them to all of my neighbors. I know 3 of my neighbors are getting them, as we speak. And it's just something, from a, cost perspective, from an efficiency perspective, from a design and appearance perspective, it's 10 out of 10. I couldn't have worked with someone better. Tamra and her team were absolutely fantastic. They take each and every person into, an account and understand what their style and their own design is. And it's not cookie cutter in any way. My husband and I are already working on our next projects. It's going to be his office and, my son's playroom. And, I get a joke around that I got mine first, but it's great. We're really excited, to see what else we can do with Closet Factory.
That'll do it for another episode of Closet Factory's Operation Reorganization.
We hope you enjoyed seeing what we can do with a blank canvas, that is a newly built home. Whether your home is brand new or has stood the test of time, we have the ability to transform your spaces into exactly what you need to fit your lifestyle. Give us a call and see what our amazing designers can do for you.
See you next time.